morning in Berlin as the anticipation grows for the conclusion of this Series 12 of the Abbott World Marathon Majors, and a good one to finish with is the BMW Berlin Marathon. I'm Paul Swangard, joined by American record holder of the 50-kilometer road race, Josh Cox. A record crowd of runners, approximately 47,000 of them at the start line, as you get a good look at the masses waiting for the start of the Berlin Marathon for 2019.
5.
And Michael Mueller, the mayor of Berlin, gets things underway here in 2019 as the runners hit the course, marking the end of Series 12 of the Abbott World Marathon Majors. They'll start all over again with Series 13 in Chicago in early October as they rotate the beginning and end of the series to the next marathon in the sequence. And as we look out on the course, you know, Josh, this is a race where the men and women start at the same time. There are pacers, but there are a lot of individual pacers as well, helping individual athletes look for individual times.
As the athletes get their elite fluids, bottles that they were able to leave last night or this morning. So you see the pacemakers sharing fluids.
On the right side of the picture, Leo Gebrselassie, another one of the Ethiopians here up front. But you also remember that they have this wonderful finish stretch for the elite runners and the everyday runners as they'll come through the Brandenburg Gate, of course, in 1990, 3 days before the reunification of Germany. They brought the marathon into the Brandenburg Gate as the women now cross the 35-kilometer mark. And they come through there. You see now officially 1:56:36 for the four, Chepyego, Dibaba, Bekele, and Tola. But Josh, you know, when you get into that moment, you've run a lot of races where you get kind of swept up in the moment of seeing that crowd and seeing that finish line. You can turn that jet on one last time and leave all the fuel out of the tank by the time you get across the finish line.
You really can, and there's something that happens when you know, you just see him glance down at his watch. When you know you're in uncharted territory, you're in a place where you've never been before in a marathon, that is motivating in and of itself. Then you add in the crowds and the music, and you see the Brandenburg Gate, and you make that turn and you're heading towards the finish. That's all adrenaline right there. And Bekele, he answered a lot of his critics today. Could he get back? Was he done? Was it time to hang him up if he had another DNF? Legesse having a masterful performance, but this guy up front, he's putting on a master's class. He is flying, and he knows that he has a shot to break one, to run under 2:02, run over a minute better than he's ever gone before, but he has a shot at the world record.
Well, the gap has increased between Bekele and Legesse. Both of these men well under pace for new lifetime best, but now not necessarily something we thought we'd bring into the narrative in 2019 after what we witnessed in 2018. But world record possibilities in play in this last stages of the race here in Berlin.
And Mark Milde, the race director, did not anticipate a world record. He thought it's not going to happen. And you see him there. Bekele is really flying. And he's turning the screws. He's given everything he has. Can he close the way that Kipchoge did? Can anyone?
Well, we just passed 1:59, which is the thematic for the attempt by Eliud Kipchoge to break 2 hours in the marathon in a specially designed non-world record eligible pace, and he's picked up the pace here at kilometer 41. You see the gap between him and the world record now, just 5 seconds.
How much speed is still left in those legs that brought him around the oval in world record times in the 5,000 and 10,000 meter? 15 years he's held him. No one has come within striking distance, and now he's here on the streets of Berlin, coming into the Brandenburg Gate. Kenenesa Bekele, the Ethiopian great, the greatest track and cross-country runner in history. Can he become the greatest marathoner on a record-eligible course?
As we just pass over that 2-hour mark, Bekele getting some instructions here from the group of cyclists that have followed him all through the day on this course. Bekele now being enveloped by the sounds of the crowd gathered here to witness perhaps history for the second consecutive year as Bekele comes to the entrance to the Brandenburg Gate, and he will see now the finish line in front of him. He now has exactly 1 minute to reach the finish line to break Eliud Kipchoge's world record.
This is unexpected, but not for him. He came in here and he pushed that pace. He had the pacemakers go and split 25 seconds faster than was planned at the half. And he put himself in position to have this chance.
He came here in 2016, set his lifetime best in 2:03:03. He's going to shatter that personal best here. The question is, where will he end up on the all-time list at the end of this run to the finish line?
2:01:39 is what we're looking at. He knows he's close, Paul. Can he get it?
Kenenesa Bekele, as he sees the finish line, will lean to it and will just unofficially miss the world record by 2 seconds.
Wow. What a performance. And there's race director Mark Milde. He is a happy guy. He told me he thought 2:03 would be the winning time. 2:01:41, 2 seconds off of Eliud Kipchoge's world record. When he set that here last year, Paul, I thought no one's going to come close to it until he comes back. Bekele answered that resoundingly today. Said, I am still here.
Dibaba unable to shake Bekele now as they move into the final stages of this Berlin Marathon. Dibaba, slight looks left and right. Doesn't want to get surprised by any sudden move.
And Dibaba's doing a little bit of a weave there, basically saying, hey, get off my shoulder. You see her? It's back and forth. We have a great shot of the motorcycle. There they are. And Dibaba doesn't like Bekele there, but this is exactly what she was doing to her for all those miles as they come upon the home stretch.
And you see now Bekele now making the move as they will come into the shadows of the Brandenburg Gate. And now the finish line in sight. As Josh mentioned, it was a race against the clock on the men's side. This is a head-to-head race for the Berlin Marathon title on the women's side in 2019. Bekele with a slight advantage.
Bekele with the big move, trying to drop Dibaba, but Dibaba responded. Now the question is, there she goes. She's trying to go into this last gear. She's trying to get away, and they have some traffic. They're shifting into this final gear. Bekele making her way around the men. And Dibaba is out the back. Bekele found that last gear, and she's on her way.
We'll have a new champion on the women's side in 2019 And that will be Ashete Bekele of Ethiopia. Dababa will settle for second. And the celebration is on as the Ethiopians sweep the men's and women's elite race here in Berlin.